Hi everybody, I wanted to give you a video to go over the transcription review. There were no new concepts, but the idea was to sort of solidify some of the main consonant vowel concepts before we go into connected speech where things can change dramatically. So I'll just go through it and go through the main errors that I saw. So number one, single. Notice there's a difference between words like singer, and finger. In the second one, we have a hard g sound. Okay, the way to detect that is to say the word really slowly and see if you have a moment of silence as you close off the velum and let pressure build. Singer, finger, hungry, language. Okay, so those have hard g. If you're from somewhere like New York, you might do them everywhere, like singing and singer, banging. If you are from the Middle East, you might have them even at the ends of words. Washing. Okay, so just listen for those and when that g is present from the speaker or not. Use, make sure you have that lowercase j, otherwise you get oos. Prize sow, I don't think there were any errors with. Just be careful with your on and off glides. Pecan. So there are lots of ways to say this. For that moment, I said pecan, like P, like the small vegetable, and can, the storage container it comes in. So those were both full vowels, pecan. Good. Pie, watch your off glide. It's not pie. Produce, don't get British. It's not produce. If you do that, it'll start to sound even J-like, produce. If you're still having trouble with our colored vowels, just memorize them. At this point, they're never going to go away. Ear, air, or are, just memorize them and then learn to spot them. So if you hear warfare, you can say or air and then put the right vowels. Okay, vertical axes. It's vertical, so it's going to be stressed on that first syllable. So it's going to be a right hook reverse epsilon, and then a syllabic L. If you're having any trouble getting the diacritics to line up, just use some common sense. If it's shifted the tiniest bit, but you can tell where it goes, fine. If it shifts and it looks like it's going with a different symbol, not fine. Remember, if you ever have trouble with IPA typing, you can just handwrite it and take a picture. That's fine. Don't waste time struggling to type IPA, okay? The only time I ever have to type IPA is for you in this course and in reports. Sometimes I'll use it in reports with some common explanations for lay people, parents, etc. But sometimes I'll include some IPA so that any future clinician would know what was uttered. Let's see, one tier. So remember that tier is an ear word, so it's usually small cap I. In the sample, I did tense a little bit. I did a little bit of a tier. A little bit of my accent came out, so I accepted that. That was fine. Just know what's typical. To graduate. First thing I did was I didn't say to. I didn't say to graduate. I said to graduate. So with t, it's going to be a schwa, reduced vowel. For graduate, when D and Y are next to each other in spelling, or D and Y are next together in terms of sounds, they can merge. So did you can turn into did you. That happens in the middle of graduate. Graduate, not graduate. Graduate. Okay. What else? Mythical unicorn. Make sure your THs are correct. I think everybody got this one right, except there was an example where the y was left off of unicorn, making it unicorn. So watch out for that. Rented. Okay, now we're getting to it. People didn't know what to do with rented. So if you put a glottal stop, this is what that would sound like. Rented. Rented. Okay, silence like rented with tension. If you put an alveolar tap, that would be D like rended. Rended. Nope. Rented. I just elided the T. I just dropped the T altogether. So I pronounced it like R-E-N-I-D. Rented. Like, can I think of any other word that does that? I can't. I'll work on it. If I can think of something, I'll put it in the text that goes with this video. Booths. I use the voice TH followed by Z, which follows the allomorph rule. Booths. Liver pate. Pretty straightforward. Paper mache. Just know it wasn't paper mache. Paper mache. It was mache. So because of stress, it's a schwa in the first syllable. Water fountain. I accepted a lot of stuff for water. I accepted or because the W kind of makes it a little tough to hear there. For fountain, a lot of people forgot the first N, the N before the glottal stop. So that would sound like fountain, fountain. But we want fount. That nasality is the N before the glottal stop. Fountain. Okay. Another example of that would be, okay, if I said mountain, mound, and so that was glottal stop. Mound, glottal stop ends it. Syllabic N. Okay. Otherwise, we get mountain. Sounds like I have a cold if I do that. Okay. And the only other thing I'll mention is there were a lot of extra syllabics. So, for example, if I put a syllabic in a word like rented, you get, remember, a syllabic says the N makes an extra syllable. So rented has 2 syllables. If it has 2 vowels, then you're done. That's the answer. If I do rented with a syllabic N, I get retinid. Retinid. So you get 3 syllables. The number of vowel phonemes plus the number of syllabics in a word will give you the total number of syllables. So check yourself. Some people even made up new syllabic consonants that don't exist, like syllabic D, which can't happen because I can't do that. I can't do that. So if you have questions, post them. I'm sorry, I'm making this video for you at 2 o'clock in the morning. So if I seem a little not quite with it, that's why. But I hope it's helpful, and post your questions. and good luck on the next assignment. Thanks.